Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for joining me. A few bits to get through. First of all, before starting anything, I just wanted to kind of express to the whole world out there that the whole football family is with Sir Alex Ferguson, who sadly lost his wife Kathy today. It's so sad, and we're all behind him. So I thought I'd like to start with that. Um, and yeah, but that was what I wanted to start with. Now let's get into the show. But before we get into this incredibly large, exciting preview, I just wanted to complain a little bit about the scheduling. I don't know if you guys agree, but we have amazing games at 3 p.m, especially this season. It seems to be like relegation, nil-nils, like on the telly. I think it's ridiculous. Hello. Gil just saying, "Hey Fran, I love how everyone expects us to beat Lens, but you were like, why Arsenal need to watch out for Lens?" Yes, I told them, and that's something we need to battle, especially tomorrow. Like the arrogance thing. We had one good season, now we think we're gonna beat City, we're gonna beat Lens. No, we need to hold it in and pay City respect tomorrow. And in this PowerPoint, what we're going to do is go through, add to stage. We're going to go through all of it basically, and how I think Arsenal need to really respect City tomorrow in the lineup, in our tactics, in order to not lose basically. I know it sounds pretty negative, but we can't just go in there saying De Bruyne's out, we don't have Rodri, so Arsenal are going to win. No. But thank you very much for joining me. Everyone, on your way in, please do me the kindness of hitting the like button. I hate asking for it, but you know it makes sense. And what else? Yes, get your questions in the chat, because at the end of this like quick presentation, you know I love my presentations, we're going to do a Q&A session. So football related only, please, or life related, but nothing inappropriate. But yeah, so hello everyone, so nice to see you. Oh, thank you, Phil, thank you. Hey Fran, hope you win tomorrow. 3-1 Arsenal. That's optimistic. I'm not feeling so optimistic, but maybe by the end of it you guys can let me know how you're feeling and maybe cheer me up, because I'm really scared about tomorrow. I was thinking of an intro to do, and I thought I would just go on live and start singing, "If you're scared and you know it, clap your hands. If you're scared and you know it, clap your hands." But then I remembered about the Sir Alex Ferguson thing, and I thought it would be a bit disrespectful, so I started the show with that. But remember that song, because I'm terrified. So let's go back to the beginning, and I have a question for you all, which you might have seen on the intro, which is, how important is this game for Arsenal? And you know, some people have been saying it's not very important at all. You know, if we lose to them, then it doesn't matter, we can make up the points later on in the season. I personally think it's really, really important. You guys know I'm all about like the confidence of the squad, and I think it could turn what's been a shaky-ish start to the season, in terms of it hasn't been as fluid as we'd have liked. I've been doubting a few of the signings. If we win against City, I believe that we'll overtake Tottenham and go to the top of the league, but I'll have to check on that. It will just put to bed any of the doubts, which I love. I just want to be behind them. I want to be on the bandwagon, on the train. I want to be able to say, we beat City, right? Enough of this worrying. We're actually as good as we think we are. We can challenge again. I think if we win, it will have such huge, like positive, like results. And if we lose, it's just going to make all the doubts and criticisms of the signings and everything much louder. And people are going to start accepting like a top 4 finish and stuff. So for me, we must win. And if not win, then we must not lose. Okay, so I will start your questions. I can see yours, Phil. I'll start them, and we're going to do a little Q&A at the end. So hang around for that. Dave, you are saying hello, by the way. All games are important, but if we can win tomorrow, psychologically, it would be big. Exactly. That's what I was saying. Gooner Forever, hello, saying, Fran, Arsenal have lost the last games. I've got those stats. Trust me, it's horrible. And we'll get into it now. You're taking the words right out of my mouth, Fran, says Phil. Okay, right. So we're going to talk about the form of both teams, some head-to-head stats, which Gooner Forever has given us a bit of a spoiler of, and they are not pretty. Viewer discretion is advised. Push Bertie saying, and if we draw, Tottenham go 2 points clear at the top going into international break. Oh, please, spare me. Spare me. God, I could not deal with that. We're also going to talk a little bit of tactics, press conference reactions, starting 11, score predictions, then a Q&A. So let's go. So Premier League standings, as Posh Bertie was just saying, if we do not win, if we draw or lose, Tottenham are going to be at the top of the table for the international break. Currently, we are 1 point behind Man City. So if we manage to get the 3 points, we go 2 points ahead of them, and it's massive. Our season's like it's on. Okay, if we lose, it'll be terrible. Hey, True Gooner, Josh, everyone subscribed here. True Gooner, he's like so good. Plays. Is it your semi-professional or professional, Josh? So like really knows the game like from a player's perspective. And of course, subscribe to Gooner Gathering. I was on with those guys a couple of days ago. Oh, my mascara's running. We had a great chat, and I'm going to be doing stuff with them over the international break, so cannot wait. Anyway, there's the PL standings and a bit of Arsenal's form, which as Arsenal fans, who most of you are, except Renee. Hello, Renee. Always there, my one little Leicester fan, and I love it. If we win, the Inter will kill me. Honestly, I'm going to have to go away. Just go on holiday somewhere. Hey, Jordan Hyman, LFC. I think is that your channel name? I think it is. Hello. Thank you so much for jumping in. It's cool that other people, let me know if you guys don't support Arsenal, what you're thinking going into the game tomorrow, because it'd be really cool to kind of get an outsider's perspective. Who do you think is going to win? Yes, I'd love to. Send me a WhatsApp or however we spoke before, and I will try and remember to get back to you. But I'm a bit slow at replying. Oh, look. Right, let me not get distracted. So that's our form. We've been undefeated in the Premier League, had a couple of dodgy draws, and really disappointing performance against Lens. The only positive that I can see from it is that it could be used as like motivation to bounce back from, because we've seen us respond quite well to adversity, kind of, recently. So that's the only good thing I can take from the match. As you guys know, we did a preview, a review. I really wanted that win, just even for a tiny psychological boost going into this massive game at the weekend. And we didn't get it, and it was a really poor performance. Although Lens did play well, but anyway, super disappointing. We know that though. City's current form, interesting. So you might be able to see in the centre there a little red card, and that's where Rodri got sent off. And using our powers of deduction, after that we can see that they've lost the EFL Cup game against Newcastle, then they've lost the Prem game against Man City. So, well, then they won again in the Champions League. So you could be forgiven for saying how much of a miss Rodri is, and City are there to be taken, and all of that. But I'm not falling for that. Oh, it is the channel name. So everyone also subscribe to Jordan Hyman LFC. Great guy, great channel. Arsenal Manic, hello as well, saying, yeah, it's a pivotal match even this early on. Season could go in different trajectories depending on the outcome of this match. You're so true. Arsenal are such an emotional, like, confidence-based team. And if we were to get this win, suddenly the belief is, like, reignited hugely, as opposed to more, like, battling to withhold our reputation and stuff. And you know, I also think the press really matters. We know these players look at the newspapers and social media and stuff, and the negativity going into that international break, if we were to lose, would just be really damaging for them, because you get headlines like Arsenal are not better than last season. Arsenal are not going to challenge for the title this season. That stuff will like seep into their brains. So no. Man City lost. Did I say Man City lost to City? Forgive me. I'm scrambled. I'm so nervous about tomorrow. I'm so scared. So as I was just saying, we know that Rodri has got sent off. He had a head loss and he choked Morgan Gibbs White. when they were playing Nottingham Forest, just out of nowhere. It was mental. It was mental. However, in the league, as you can see here on, I can't remember, I think it was on BBC Sport, said City have yet to face a single team who finished in the top 6 last season. So we're their first big challenge, really. So I guess the last time they faced a top 6 Premier League team would have been the Community Shield, where we beat them. So worth remembering that when you look at the Premier League and look at their results. So the next part is not so pretty. As I was saying, viewer discretion is advised. If you're of a sensitive disposition, look away now. If you want any hope at all for tomorrow, look away now. I imagine, well, this is me, Arteta, you guys, perhaps when we see the next slide, it's not good. It's not good. Good point, Gil. If we make a statement against City, we'll lose it against Chelsea. We just don't know what Arsenal we're going to get. Yeah, we're looking so much less consistent than last season. At least last season, I remember feeling confident that even if we did go a goal down, that like we had that fighting spirit and the ability to come back, and we know that the lads would be giving 110% for every ball, every second ball, and that was part of what made us so good. But it doesn't feel like that this season. You don't know what Arsenal you're going to get. So anyway, guys, prepare yourselves. This is right. Last 12 Premier League results versus Man City. As you can see, all losses dating back to November 2017. Home, away, it doesn't matter. If we're playing them in the Prem, since November 2017, we have not won. And to me, it's wild that people are saying because Kevin De Bruyne and Rodri are not playing, they're there for the taking and stuff. When, look, no. And I'm going to tell you why I would line up like very defensively. Arsenal Manic saying atrocious stats there. Yes. Oh, hello. New name in the chat. Hello. Good to see you. Welcome. Saying the reason we're playing badly, his 65 mil player doesn't work and he's desperate for it to work. Do not get me started. I've had a huge Kai Havertz rant about how dumb a signing it appears to be at this moment in time. Anyway, like I'm totally on the same page as you there. So it's annoyed me so much. Phil saying, I remember the days when we beat them so easily. I miss those days. I don't remember those days. And look, let me look. Wait for this. If you think that is bad, look at this. So last 12 Premier League meetings. So as Arsenal Manic was saying, we've scored 5 goals in our last 12 meetings with them, and they have scored 33. We've had 7.9 expected goals to their 25.8. Shots on target, we've had 82, and they have just shots at goal. They've had 179. That's more than double. Shots on target, we've had 23 to their 84. I can't do this. It's making me feel sick. Shot conversion, 6.1% of our shots have been converted into goals. They've had an 18.4% shot conversion. So almost like 1 in 5. 1 in 4, I suppose. No, yeah, almost 1 in 5 of their chances they score against us. Touches in opposition box, 169 we've had in 12 games. So how many, what's that divided by 12? If someone can do the maths, tell me just how many touches per average that is in their box. But that's to their 367, 41% possession to their 59. So that's actually not like ridiculous. But I think that's because we try and play ball playing against them in the last 5 years, and it doesn't work. It does not work. Save ratio, 61% saved for us and 78% for them. So it's terrible. You said, oh my days, take off that screen. I'm going to throw up. Trust me. I'm going to have nightmares about that tonight. I don't know where all this confidence is coming from us Arsenal fans. There is a way we can win this match. But as you can see here, the odds are definitely not in our favour. The force does need to be with us. So we can see normally when we play them, they completely dominate us in goals, shots on target, touches in our box. The way that we've played them in the last 5 years, which is not good. And that's why I think we need to set up defensively. But I was speaking to my boyfriend and he was saying like, nah, we should get at them. And no. Push Bertie saying Kai Havertz is one of the best players of hide and seek there is. He's so good. He would win gold medal in that. He would be the invincible hide and seek champion. Maybe. Look, I have hope for Kai Havertz. I think he's a really nice guy, but he's clearly a project player. His confidence was so low coming over from Chelsea, and we needed someone that could get started right away because, it was just, we were so close last season, and it felt like we just needed 2 or 3 like ready to go players. And Declan Rice, fantastic, but then Kai Havertz and a goalkeeper. Jurrien Timber, though, also fantastic. It is unfortunate that we have lost him. I painted him, so I promised you guys more art stuff on this channel. That's the Jurrien Timber one I painted. Yeah. So we are thinking of Jurrien, even though he's not currently playing, and he's really, really missed because he played really well in the Community Shield against Man City. But where were they when they were crap, Fran? That's what Phil's talking about. So let's see. So Phil was saying, so we had Ozil, then Pepe, now Kai. We always need one really expensive nightmare player in our squad. Yeah, it wouldn't be a squad without one, of course. Our games now against City remind me of the days United and Chelsea rinsed us regularly. Yeah. Yeah, it's not good, is it? Are you sure the stats are accurate? They're on Sky Sports. They are on Sky Sports today, Sky Sports website today about our head-to-head stats. So I'm pretty sure they're accurate. Don't take it up with me. Take it up with Sky Sports if they're not. But yeah, So Malb saying, you know what called me crazy, but I feel we're going to do them tomorrow. If we don't make mistakes, that's always been our problem. I know, especially with our like defensive errors at home. We haven't had a clean sheet at home this season, and we've scored a lot at home, but we have to be solid defensively tomorrow. You're totally right. Anyway, let's get it off this horrible screen. And some positive news. So since those last 12 defeats that we've had against them in the league, you can see 3 little green spots there with a little W, obviously signifying Arsenal wins. And what you'll see is in common between those 3 wins are FA Cup, and FA Community Shield. So we've managed to beat them in cup competitions. And for me, that's quite significant because you do play cup competition games very, very differently. I feel like your playing style goes a little bit out the window and you just really focus on winning that game. I think it's so significant that in the cups we've beaten them. So we need to treat tomorrow like a cup game, not the usual, we're Arsenal, this is our playing style. I think drop all that and just focus on winning that one game rather than proving your playing style, proving that your players that you've signed are a success. Instead, one-off game, play it how you can win it, how teams like Wolves beat them. And that's a bit of an insight into how I would set up the team. Guys, the comments are flying. Thank you so much. Remember to hit the like button. We're going for 40 likes today. Didn't quite get it last time. Today we can do it. Those stats are true, saying Gooner forever. It's embarrassing. Can't sugarcoat it. Class picture, by the way. What a talent. Oh, thank you. I love talking football, and my boyfriend's always saying, like, remind them, like, you do art. So there, I do art. Yeah, it's very shocking. I'm glad we're off that slide. It's not good. Wait, patience. I will in about 5 or 10 minutes. So if you want to come back, we're going to do a bit of tactics first. Then the best bits are at the end. So starting 11s, predictions. That's my sneaky way of keeping you here. No, I'm joking. Oh, no, but yeah, they will be at the end. So let's talk tactics. And this was the Community Shield victory. So we beat them just before the start of this season. And it wasn't like they had a weak lineup either. We had a really strong lineup. And what you might find interesting is looking at those possession stats. So Man City had nearly 60% of the ball. And I remember us going into it saying, we've tried to go toe-to-toe with them. We've tried to bring our game to them. We've tried to play possession-based and control the game, and it just doesn't work because that's their game and they're better at it than us. So I remember being really happy to see that we started this Community Shield match more conservatively, and we were sat back. Anyway, we were sat back and let them have the ball and really focused on our defensive play, and we managed to beat them through a couple of ways that I've managed to work out and that are online and stuff. So how did we manage to get it? First of all, we let them have the ball, as you can see from those stats. So these are a couple of quotes from a Sky Sports match preview, and they said it was City who set out to take control of this contest from the off, racking up 85% possession in the first 15 minutes. So they had 85% possession for the first 15 minutes of the game. And I think that's what we need to do again. Just let them have the ball and try not to concede in the first 15 minutes. A bit like how we set up when we play at Liverpool, and you just like absorb the onslaught and don't concede for the first 15 minutes. If we try and go at them in the first 15 minutes, they're just going to tear us apart. Second of all, the defence was super organised. So Sky Sports recognising that City struggled to break through a compact Arsenal side, and instead it was us who had the best chance of the half, and Havertz missed like 2 good goals. So we need to be compact, sit back, defensive. This is just my opinion though, to be fair. Let me come back. I'll come back to all your questions. Thank you so much for putting them in the chat. Connor saying he's sadly gone for a 3-1 loss. Sorry to be negative, bro. I'm doing my best to think about how we can win, but it's not looking good. Hello, Brennick. Welcome. Good evening. Join us the evening before, the morning after, the night before Les Miserables settings. You know, one day more. I'm so excited. It feels like the night before we're led, like the night before battle. I'm nervous. Can you imagine how nervous the players are? Anyway, a couple more points. So patience and resilience, I think. So we only actually scored our equaliser after so much patience, so much defensive play. Leandro Trossard scored in the 111th minute, which took us penalties, and we managed to beat them on penalties. So we were really, really patient, and perhaps key in terms of how we beat them. Partey and Reiss, double pivot. Or was Partey right back? I can't. You guys let me know whether Partey was right back. But either way, both of them on the pitch and physically disrupting them, not letting City like really flow. So you can still be sat back and be defensive, but still like disrupt their play. So still be going like for each ball, not letting them have space on it, but still be sat back. And do you know what I mean? So I also thought really quickly I would go over the way that Wolves only last week managed to beat them, and the same thing again. Wolves let them have the ball. So City passed the ball around at will as Wolves camped inside their own half, and only a desperate Craig Dawson tackle denied Erling Haaland a simple finish at the far post just 6 minutes into the game. So again, letting City have the ball, letting them pass it around, and you guys just focus on like holding your shape, not giving them space to get through. Let them try and break us down, because we're good defensively when we're not like tearing forwards. And bring it back to basics. Focus on the defence. That's what I'm saying. Wolves also managed, though, to run at them with pace on the break, on these mini breaks. Pedro Neto especially kept going against Nathan Ake. That's on the left-hand side. We might have a bit of a problem there because Martinelli, it's touch or go whether he can play, and is it too soon if he does come back? But yeah, also in brackets have Rodri and De Bruyne missing. So that is a slight positive that we've got going into the game. Out-battle them. So we can see the aerial duels won by Wolves, and the interceptions are just massive. They won 71% of aerial duels. Their duel success rate wasn't like super high. But you can see they barely had any of the ball, but they were winning all the aerial duels. So we got to be on it with that kind of combative nature. And I thought what was crazy, like, look how many chances City had. So they had 23 shots to their 3. Like, look at all that navy blue. That's basically City, like, onslaughting Wolves and just showing how it was almost like how you play when you're down to 10 men. It was that kind of siege kind of thing. And these stats are when Kevin De Bruyne and Rodri aren't playing. So, I mean, it's not great, but it shows just how well you need to defend against them. I'm so nervous. At the bottom as well, clearances. They cleared the ball 28 times to City's 7. And we can do that as well. We can clear the ball, and yeah, it's got to be important. We've got to think defensively first. Right. So a few press conference reactions. Let's see what the managers have said, but let's have a look at a couple of your comments, see what you're thinking so far. Yes, a huge big up to CMO Connor. He makes like the best graphics for TJ Warren and Jez. And who else? But like graphic design, like wizard, you're so good. You're going for a 2-2 based on nothing. That's fair enough. That would be a good game. That would be a good game based on home advantage. Home advantage is looking a little shaky with our clean sheet not record at home. Question for later. Awesome. I will save that. And hey, Brenny, it's Brenny K, not Brennick. Sorry. So we have to take our chances when we get them. Definitely. This is such a good argument, to be fair. Like, and I'm so interested to hear like your points of view, because I'm like being a scaredy cat about tomorrow, like fully. Like you're saying, don't let them have the ball. We are Arsenal, play normal football. But I feel like Arsenal Manic, we've done that. Like he's taken the game to them in the Prem every time, and we've said like, oh, we're so proud of the guys. Like they really played their style of football, and we took the game to them, but we never win. Whereas in cups where we've decided to like drop that and just be a bit more defensive, we've actually managed to beat them. So that's kind of my take. And I think I don't want to see, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. I can't remember the exact quote. I feel every time Arteta takes the game to them, we're prideful, we play our style, and every time we've lost the last 12 games. I think we need to do something different. Brenny's saying we will be okay tomorrow if Arteta picks the right 11. Indeed. You're welcome, Connor. You're welcome. So we'll have a quick press conference reaction, if you like. And then, honestly, after that, I do think we are doing... Yes, so quick press conference reaction, then we're going to use starting 11s. Okay, so I've just got to work out how to share the screen. Still getting there a little bit with this StreamYard setup. So let's see what Mikel's saying. There we go. So Mikel, what's Mikel got to say? We might get a bit of injury news from him. Let's see. So on Bukayo Saka's fitness and if he's in contention to play, well, he is in contention. We'll see how he progresses from here to Sunday. Obviously, he had to leave the pitch. That's never good news. Let's see how he recovers. So he's in contention, which to me says that he's going to play. If Bukayo Saka can walk, then he's playing. As we was talking about in the Lons reaction, if he had no legs or arms, like the Black Knight in Monty Python, I'm just covering how many viewers I've got, because then like I keep looking at it as opposed to thinking about what I'm doing. So anyway, Bukayo Saka's playing if he's in contention, for me at least, even if I wouldn't mind seeing him come on as an impact sub, but we'll get into the starting 11s. Arteta's putting his injury for the doctors. On Thomas Partey, well, he's ahead of schedule for sure. We wanted to have him in the squad. If we needed to, the way the game panned out, we had other necessities. He said he will be in the squad tomorrow. Wow. So, yes. Right. It appears that he'll be training and Partey's fit. Okay. So he could have started midweek, but didn't. Interesting. On making our best unbeaten start for 16 years. That's mad. That's mad. It doesn't feel like our best unbeaten start for 16 years. Whiz over that really on how David Raya has settled in very well. He knows London really well. Of course, he's from Brentford. He knows the way we play. If we can take anything from the Community Shield win into Saturday's game, that's a good question. So he says, well, that was an important one for us. To win a title against Man City is always something you have to value. The way we did it as well. Okay, interesting. So he knows the way we did it was by taking a bit more care defensively, gives us the confidence and belief we can beat them. And yeah, I do. That is massive. That Ramsdale was saying now they've broken that like mental block they have against them, and that is huge. That is huge. Differences between the sides since then. Basically saying that we had some players available, some players not available. So we had Timber available, which was really key. Okay, he doesn't really say much about the Wolves thing, which is disappointing. We aren't looking on our record against City in the league and what we need to change. We aren't looking back for sure, probably for the best, Mikel, because there were different players participating in those games. But we know one thing for certain, that we're going to have to be at our best. We have to be at our best in every department for 100 minutes, then we have a chance. Completely agree with that. The players have to play out of their socks. We can talk about whatever lineup Mikel wants to do, but the players have to show up like it's an Olympic final, in terms of the performance level. Everyone has to be at their absolute best in every aspect of the game, try their absolute hardest. And I think we also need to be going for every second ball. We need to be ferocious. City are a bit like us. When you try and unbalance them and stop them from playing and get a bit physical with them, they can lose their flow a little bit. I think we need to be in their faces, going for every second ball, going for the aerial interceptions, going for a bit like how Lens played against us. Don't wait for the ball. Get in front, get to the ball first. That's what I'm hoping to see. I want to see fighting heads on, huge, intensity. I want every player completely gassed. Do you know what I mean by and then make some subs? I want everyone to give 100%, because we've got 2 weeks break after this. So, I mean, whatever the result is, if I can see that they've left everything on the pitch, then it won't be so bad. But if it's sloppy errors and a bit of complacency, arrogance, I won't be happy. A bit about Ben White. Right, we had a pretty good performance against them last year on New Year's Day. That was the Airport Albert masterclass. And he's saying we didn't manage to get anything from the game in the end. We ended up with 10 men. And that's so funny, because the fact that we ended up with 10 men meant that our defence was laser focused. And we had that siege thing that I think we will need to have tomorrow. I do think we can't underestimate how good they are. We're against Erling Haaland. That's why I'm stressing the defence so much and being tight and a nice block. Just stop them scoring, and then we can think about attacking them. That's just my point of view, and I totally get it if some of you guys disagree. Blah 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 blah. Oh, this is a long one. Whether City will play long balls against us. They did that against Brighton when they were super aggressive, and against Liverpool. It's about adapting. Yeah, so recently, I mean, Kevin De Bruyne is out, so they might not be doing that, but they started doing this thing where De Bruyne was just picking out Haaland from halfway across the field and just ripping teams apart. So hopefully they won't be doing that so much. We have to be prepared for that kind of thing, because City, it seems like they're just a system team. So normally when they sub out a few players, they're just as good, and the players are so well drilled, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, that's what Mikel has to say. Hey, Jez, the Arsenal the history more. You know that Arteta, the arrogant prick, will play Saka. Yeah. Hello, Akai. New names in the chat. Thank you so much for coming in. Oh, Connor, that actually means so much coming from you. Connor's the greatest. Yeah, I try and do a bit of research before, and thank you so much, guys. I'm glad you're enjoying these kind of new streams. And just 2 more minutes, then we're getting into starting 11s, and you need to prepare yours, because I'll tell you mine, and I want to see if you agree or not. So, Partey, Reiss, and Odegaard. Oh, you're jumping the gun, Bertie. We will do it. We will do it. Kozia Dewberry, if Saka isn't fit to play, something different. Yeah, I'd love to see that, because we need someone who's going to be fearless, run at them. We saw in the Wolves game, they did not like being run at. And that's different to the whole team pushing up, whatever, leaving space in behind. No, run at them with the ball at your feet. That's what Martinelli's so good at. Trossard can do it too, but we're missing that like player who's just going to tear at them. I hope Declan Rice can do it a bit. But yeah. So you guys want to hear a bit about what Pep's saying? Let's have a quick whiz through and basically see whether he's confident or not. So let's see what Pep's saying. Right, Pep, where are you? Okay, that's not what Pep's saying. Okay, screw it. We're going to skip what Pep's saying. I had a quick read of it the other day, well, today, and he's basically doing what he always does, like praising Arteta, saying how much of a great manager he is, and just like normal Pep mind games. So ignore what Pep says. Let's focus on us, and let's do starting 11s. Okay, are you guys ready? Are you ready for starting 11s? If you're in the chat, let me know if you're ready, and then we can go. We can go. I'm going to put on some. Actually, you know what? I'll stop you waiting, and let me know your starting 11s. Okay, and I will reveal mine. Although it's actually a really difficult game, like to choose a starting 11 for. Let's go. This is the bit you've been waiting for. You've just been listening to my waffle and stats and tactics, just waiting for the starting 11. So it's so difficult to pick a squad for this, but I think one thing that seems to be unanimous amongst our whole fan base is if they're fit, only if they're fit, start Reiss and Partey. So Reiss and Partey started in the Community Shield, and I think we've seen just having a lone player in there like Jorginho or just Reiss, we've looked exposed at the back, especially at home. So I think it would be massive if we can have Reiss and Partey playing together, especially when their defensive midfielder Rodri is out. We know Partey's so good at feeding balls through to our attackers. So that's the main thing I really want to see, and I will be so disappointed. Although in the next slide, although Jez will probably disagree with this because I'm saying I would start Saka, but that is under the condition that he doesn't go away on international break. If I'm Arteta, I'm not letting him. He's picked up an injury, which is true. You say he's not fully fit. You don't let him go, even no matter if he's begging you to go. Let the kid have 2 weeks off. Sit him in a hot tub. Hey, big up, Ravi, big up. Who's my goalie? All right, okay, yeah. Let me. I'm gonna hide that. Right, so let me go through it. Right. Oh, ESR. I was tossing up doing ESR as well. So I'll go through mine, then we'll read out a couple of yours, because else I'll forget to do mine. I'll get too distracted by yours. So for me, Ramsdale will start in goal, because as I was saying on the reaction to the Lons game, if you're actually treating these keepers equally and playing them based on who's performing well at the moment, Raya had a bit of a stinky, mistakey, not confident game against Lons. Bring in Ramsdale. I think that having him back in will be such a boost for the team, especially the defence in terms of them staying organised. I just can't take my mind away from last season, how together the defence was with Ramsdale at the back. And Raya's great. I mean, my boyfriend would start Raya, saying it's a calming influence, but I think Ramsdale, because also he will light up the Emirates crowd, and also he made some amazing saves against them in the Community Shield. So for me, it's Ramsdale for that team spirit. And back four was pretty simple for me. I know we've got our doubts against Zinchenko, but that's our strongest back four. The one that we were playing last season when everyone was fit. Minus Timber. I would have Timber if he was fit. But this was our back four of last season. They're the most familiar with each other and should be the strongest back four because they played the most together. And they were really good last season. So as long as Zinny isn't like bombing up the pitch, playing in midfield, whatever, I would say you guys sit back. Your job today is mainly just defend. Keep the ball out of the back of the net. Clean sheet, okay? And I want Reiss and Partey to try and get a hold of that midfield, especially since their midfield isn't at their complete strongest. And also they're both really good with their defensive awareness. And then Odegaard, our captain. If he's not showing up though, then whip him off for ESR. And up front, difficult because obviously Martinelli's not fit. However, Trossard did score the winner against them in the Community Shield, and he does have the capacity to run at them and beat a man. And when he turns it on, he really turns it on. I think he'll be annoyed about his performance in midweek, so give him a chance. Give him a chance. Jesus, our team looks best when Jesus is up front, but I do worry about his finishing ability. But we'll get there. And it's tricky to know whether to start Saka. I said that I would. I said that I would, but any sign of trouble, take him off. Don't let him go on international break. And Jez, you're saying don't even start him, but I think he's so crucial, even when he's not 100% fit. And I'm so about protecting players, but 2 weeks off after this, don't let him go away on international break. Just use him for maybe as a sub or start him and then take him off. Even if we just go 1 goal up with the help of Saka, I wouldn't even mind just parking the bus then. I know it's so negative, but so let's see what you guys are saying. That's the most important bit. Phil, you are saying Raya. Oh, you're what do you call it? You're betraying your boy Ramsdale. But interesting. Benny Blanco, Saliba. Saliba will hopefully play as well against Haaland. Just stick Saliba on Haaland, and that should nullify him quite a lot. Saliba was so good against Haaland. It was the only defender I've seen be able to control him. So yeah, I totally agree. Saliba's got to play. Gabriel, Zinchenko, Zinny, Partey, Odegaard and Rice again. So the Partey Rice midfield. It's got to happen. Martinelli, Saka, Jesus. You think, so if Martinelli's available, you might be right there. I just throw everything you've got at it for the first half or whatever, Martinelli, Saka, play him. I don't know. It's so tricky, isn't it? So big up Ravi. You think Arsenal needs to keep it real, not let City bully them. And Jez, Arsenal the history and more. Big up. You are just absolutely amazing. And that stream, everyone go and watch it. Him talking about mental health and online trolls. You must go and watch it. We love you, Jez. Big respect. So you would start Raya, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Tommy, not Ben White. Oh, so not Zinchenko. You do not rate Zinchenko, to be fair. And that is an area where you worry if Zinchenko is drifting too much into midfield, then they're just going to tear us apart. So who would their right wing be? Is it Foden or Grealish? Or let me know. But either way, any weaknesses at the back, they will expose it. So you're right, maybe drop Zinny for Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu is much more defensive minded. He won't get distracted going up the pitch. So you want Rice and Partey again, and Odegaard, Trossard, Jesus and ESR. So yeah, you're resting Saka, and I'm really tempted to do that as well myself. Maybe you could bring him on at the end of the game if you need to, but give ESR a chance. You're right, I was torn between Saka and ESR. Give him a chance. He can run at players. That's totally fair, I think. It'd be amazing to see him start. So let's see what you're saying. Malb, you reckon Ramsdale, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Tomiyasu. Again, not playing Zinchenko. Interesting. Partey and Rice. Everyone's saying Partey and Rice, so that's got to happen. Odegaard, Martinelli, Jesus, Saka. Okay, so again, starting Martinelli and Jesus, even if they're not 100% fit, just because of what they bring to the team, I totally get that. And Ramsdale, I like that you're starting Ramsdale too. Gil saying Zinny will be high-fiving his mates, they'll distract him. So, right, interesting. It'll be interesting to see if Zinchenko starts tomorrow or not. But next, we're going to go into what I think we will see. So, buckle up. Win! The therapy dog is here. Oh, yes! So I love this account. You're not an account, you're a real dog. Sorry. So Win the therapy dog saying, I will be starting ahead of Saka tomorrow. Believe it. Hashtag part of the process. Yes, you are part of the process. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I always see you in Curtis Shaw's chat. This is, I can't believe it. We've got actually Win the therapy dog speaking to us live right now, exclusive. I've got a couple of questions. Can you give us any insight on the lineup? How are the boys feeling? Have you been comforting them, making them less scared? Give me all the inside information. And you'll be starting. Okay. I love this guy. Anyway, Jez asking, is Martinelli available? Reports are that he might be. Let's have a quick Google. Is Martinelli available? Okay, so I think we read about it in the press conference. Let me just get that back up. Give me one sec. I think he did answer that question. But chat, if you can remember, then let me know. He wasn't actually asked about it in the press conference. So, 24 likes, smash the button. Oh my gosh, we're over halfway to my target. Let's try and get it to 40. That would be amazing. Evening, Jez, big up. Evening to you. That's my 11-2 on the screen. Oh, cool. Okay, so I'm not like going totally mad. Yeah, unfortunately, I think that's what he would do. Hugo, hello, welcome. New name in the chat. Smash the likes, everyone. Wins a real dog, lol. Love it. Yeah, man. And Malb saying, I'm telling you this right now. If I see Havertz start and we lose, I'm sorry, Arteta's got to go because I'm this close to being broken. Yeah, it's... I think a lot of people will be very unhappy, including me, if the lineup is a joke. So on that note, let's see what I think Arteta might play. Hey, guys, you guys are pressing the likes and I'm seeing new people come into the chat. So it must be working. It must be showing it to other people. And that means a ton to me. So thank you so much. So Travis Orr, cool name, saying, just curious, what's Raya's contract situation with Brentford? So he's on loan to us and with an option to buy, I believe, or is it an obligation? Either way, at the end of the season, if we want to, which I think Arteta does because he loves the guy, we will buy him. He was actually the keeper. I think it's about 30 million. He was the keeper that he wanted before we got Ramsdale, apparently. And the goalkeeping coach really loves him. I think he's the long-term aim to have in first position. I think all this cap about the goalkeepers are playing on rotation based on like a game of her game basis is unfortunately not true, as much as I love Rambo. So anyway, right. So option to buy. Thank you, Jess. Thank you. So it's an option to buy. Pretty much, I think we will buy him for those reasons that I just said. So that is the situation. And he signed a contract with Brentford just before the loan to protect his value. That's smart business from Brentford there. So, right, this is what I think Arteta might play. So, what I do not want to see, I do not want to see Raya, Zinny, Gabriel, Saliba, White. I'm okay with that backline. Cool. That's fine, whatever. Like, they played well for us last season. Slight doubt with Zinny, but, you know. And then, if we see Reiss and Havertz, Reiss up top, I wouldn't be, like, irate with, yeah. But Havertz, I meant Havertz up top. But Havertz in midfield and my heart will sink. If... Again, Hugo's saying the same thing. If he plays, I want to see him as a number 9. And that's actually where he started in the Community Shield, where we beat him, beat Pep. So if he starts, play him as a number 9. So this is what I dread to think will happen. But based on like Arteta's, I really want him to pleasantly surprise me. But what we've seen in the past is this like arrogance of sticking with his team, especially against Man City, and sticking with the play style unless it's in a cup. So in the Prem, and why we've lost 12 times in a row, is Arteta has this habit of just sticking with them. I would tell you, bro, pay attention to the slideshow. So this is what I think Arteta will do. This is not what I would do. No. Phil saying, I want to see Kai play as left back in the changing room. Boom, boom. Basil Brush there. I like it. Melb saying, this is going to be Arteta's. So you reckon Raya, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinny? Yeah, that's what I think as well. Partey, Rice? I really hope so. If he's got any sense about him, then amazing. Oh no. Wait, have you done 11? 1, 2, 3. I think you might have missed out. I assume Odegaard's in there as well. And then you have Jesus, Havertz, and Saka. Yeah, hopefully. I would be so happy if I see Partey and Reiss, because I think just those two players are so good, especially with defensive awareness. I'm not so worried about, like, I think we have the capacity with so many good players just for a moment of brilliance. Like, we can score. I'm not worried about scoring. We've scored at least, this is a mad stat, we've scored at least 2 goals in every home game apparently this season. That's what I read on Sky Sports, but I don't know if it's true. But I think it's true. We can score at home. I'm not worried about scoring at home. I'm worried about conceding at home. And if we have Partey and Reiss, then I will feel much more comfortable about our defensive situation. So Nick, hello, cool profile picture. I like it. Thank you for coming in and saying hello. Havertz scored a penalty, so everything is peachy. Completely, I completely agree. Things could not be rosier. His confidence is through the roof. I'm messing. I was so happy when he scored a penalty, and I've said this, like, he is improving, but just not quickly enough. And I think a game like this, he's just going to hide and seek, as Phil was saying. Shy Havertz. So, right. Gunnar Forever saying, Fran, to be honest, I can see Arteta going with the same lineup like he did against Man City in the Community Shield, apart from Timber because of his injury. Yeah, that's basically what Mel was saying. And it would be good to see that. I really hope there's just no foolishness, like having Havertz in midfield and Nketiah starting. No, I don't want to see this. It would be, if he does play the same as what we saw in the Community Shield, just with Zinchenko as opposed to Timber, that's okay. Because at least, we've won with that. It's not ideal for me, but that would be okay too. I hope that's the case. So Kai, Neil from the In-Betweeners, Havertz should be benched. I have never thought of that. Hang on. One sec. Why have I never seen that? Kai, I wonder if someone's made a compilation. Sorry to get distracted. No, okay, right. Let's just go with Neil from the In-Betweeners. You sent me there. I can see the resemblance. That's jokes. It's not... I love the In-Betweeners. Love the In-Betweeners. So Eddie was rested for this weekend, so he's starting more than likely. You think he was rested midweek? So he didn't rest Saka, but he rested Eddie, even though Saka was on his last legs. That, if that's the case, then help us all. Travisor says, now hear me out. I really don't like our keeper situation. I know, is it Jez doesn't like it either? But yeah, if Raya has a good season with us, who says he'll stick with Arsenal? Brentford will have the ability to start a bidding war for him. Really good point. I hadn't even considered that. If he does play really well, he might not even stick with Arsenal. It's a really good point. I mean, we still have Ramsdale, but at that point, will Ramsdale be so annoyed that he'd be wanting to leave? Arsenal Manic saying, I don't want to see Havertz as any number, only P45. That's savage, but it's standards. So, any other comments to read out? Melb saying, losing is not an option tomorrow. The way the media has been sucking off Spurs, now I can't take it. Going into the break on loss with them on top, I can't take it either. We're saying I'm going abroad if that's the case. I just cannot. For 2 weeks as well. We know the media hate us already. If we lose, and it'll be awful. It will be awful. Completely agree. So Hugo said our scoring record versus City is 5-33. Yeah, Dave, we showed those stats earlier, and then Dave replied saying, thanks, Hugo, really made my confidence sky high. Good banter between you guys in the chat. I was just going to say, I really like you guys who tune into the channel because your standards are really high. There's a lot of channels where everyone's kind of just copium, and being overly positive. And I prefer high standards, no being horrible to the players or anything, but just keeping these high standards. I really like it. So I'm glad that like-minded people have found their way to my channel. So, yeah, Mal saying, "Don't Eddie and Havertz starting. We're going to be playing with 9 men. It ain't gonna be good. It ain't gonna be good. And if the starting lineup is like mental tomorrow, then I'll come on and do a live reaction and we can just like cry together." So Jez saying Arsenal have signed the option to buy Raya, so there can't be a bidding war from other clubs. Oh, interesting. Okay, right. So yes, let me stop getting distracted, and let's get on to score predictions. Thank you for reminding me, Hugo. So score predictions and any final thoughts that you have. So it's really a question for me of heart versus head, and it's very dependent on the starting lineup. So I think this Reiss and Partey thing in midfield can't be understated how important that is. I'll feel a lot more confident if I see that tomorrow and out before the game, you know. Whereas if I see Havertz, Eddie, like the same team that he's been, you know, trying to shoehorn Havertz into midfield, in a game like City, we just can't afford passengers. Everyone's got to play out of their skin. So Arsenal Manic is feeling confident and reckons it's 5-2 City. I hope we're going to be crying tears of joy. Trust me, me too. We see Reiss and Partey starting, it's tears of joy. Reiss and Havertz starting, then it's tears of pain and dread. So Wolves beat City last time, probably not a good thing. Wounded animal and all that. Oh my gosh, don't. That's so true. That's really true. Yeah. But we are also a wounded animal. Lons beat us. Where's your faith? I'm joking. However, if Arteta is wise, he'll use that as motivation. So Hugo reckons 3-2. Oh, I wish a Trossard hat-trick. He's good against City. Give him a chance. Let him. He was so good as well against. He scored a hat-trick against Liverpool. Like, he was so good at Brighton. Why does he look worse since we brought him in? Why is he being benched? I don't get it. I love that guy. 3-1 Man City. Connor reckons 2-0 to us. Might be wishful thinking. Heart says 3-1 Arsenal. Head says 2-2. Taylor, big up the chat. Oh my gosh, we're getting so many like new people coming in. Thank you so much. Let's try and get as well to 40 likes. Big up to you, Taylor, and big up to the chat. Thank you for being here tonight. I spend a long time on these presentations, embarrassingly long. So I'm glad you like them. Anyway, my score prediction. If I was putting money on it, I don't think we're going to win. I think we're going to lose. But if the players play out of their skin, and I know the atmosphere is going to be amazing, if we see us actually defending, so that if for those who've just come in, what I've been arguing for, perhaps way too negatively, is starting with focusing on the defence. Defence first, and we'll worry about scoring goals later on. We're okay with scoring goals at home. We're fine with that. We're not good at the defensive side. So if we're defensively solid, then I think we could scrape a 1-0, something like that. Score late on, hit him on a mini break, a bit of magic from Trossard, something like that. Just don't concede. And then I don't worry about. So, you know what? Let's back the team. 1-0 victory to Arsenal. I reckon 1-0 victory to Arsenal. Let's do it. Positive vibes. However, to Arsenal, we will be here tomorrow evening if we lose. And just breaking it all down because I'll lose it. I'll lose my head. Right. Gooner gathering. I knew this would come up. Nketiah masterclass incoming. Oh. I do see the argument for Eddie starting. You know, he's a poacher, isn't he? And if we're not going to get many chances, but then what he is good at, which is like final touch in the box, whatever, poaching, the target man type thing. This season, he's not been good at it. He's been missing like crazy chances. But you know, that's your boy. Back him. Go for it. I hope so. He could become a hero if we get an Eddie masterclass. Gooner Forever saying, surely we have to beat Man City at least once in the league this season. Definitely if we want to be contending for the title. Gooner Forever, you agree that it all depends on how Arteta picks his lineup. If he picks the right lineup, Arsenal to win 2-1. Yeah, I think so. I think it's possible if we do have the right lineup. It really does depend on the lineup. So Gil saying, Spuds being top should be an extra incentive to beat City for bragging rights over the international break. Yes. All of the incentive, all of the motivation, just like pump those players up, play like hardcore R&B in the dressing room. They've got to play out their skin. Anything we can use to motivate them, bring win in, win the therapy dog, all of it. Pump them up. We must win. Anything, any managerial tricks you have, psychologists, bring in motivational speakers, the Spurs incentive. We've got to be up for it. We've got to battle. We've got to fight. We've got to fight and win. Bring in our owners. Bring in the Cronkies. Tell them to fight and win. On a positive, Rob Holding isn't there to deal with Haaland. If there ever was a positive, that is the positive. I'm so glad. That was a horror show. Taib saying, smash the likes up. Thank you. Yes, smash the likes up. We're going to try and hit 40 likes today. I still haven't hit it yet, but we can do it. I appreciate it. Jez saying, Man City are going to be big up for this. They all want the number 1 spot back. Sadly, I see this as Arsenal 1, Man City 2. Yeah, I mean, I really just hope we can score against them. We didn't score in the Community Shield, even though we set up well till the 111th minute. And as we keep saying in this stream, they've scored 33 goals in our last 12 matches. And we have scored, how many is it, 5? I think it's 5 to 33. But I do think we can do it, but... So you reckon I think we're going to win 2-1. Havertz with the winning goal. Oh my gosh. If that, imagine he can go from like, oh, I'm not too sure about this signing to a hero immediately. And that's the thing with footballers. Like, we can criticize them every week, but if you have a golden moment, like, we love you. As I always say, look how the fan base actually came to like Xhaka in the end. You know, it's up to the players, and if you just do something mad, we will love you forever. At least I will. Taylor saying, to the host, since Man City, oh, that's me, will not have Rodri, De Bruyne, John Stones, what will your scoreline be? I reckon, so I changed my mind. My head said, like, we're just going to lose. That's just based on our record, but I actually think a 1-0 win. 1-0 win. We can do it. Let's keep a clean sheet. Holding versus Haaland is like a toddler trying to hold on to a giant eel. That's such a horrible image. But yeah, basically. I'm surprised that the bookies have the odds very close. I expect them to be clear favourites. Do they? That's interesting. I'm kind of in the same boat as you. Win will hold on to the ball too long. I mean, if she can keep possession, then I'm for it. You know, don't lose the ball. That's fine. Tayyib being positive as always. I'm joking. Saying thrashing incoming, Fran. I really hope I'm going to lose my mind if it's a thrashing. Oh, thank you. Look at all these comments, man. I'm so behind. So, as I was saying, what I want to see from the team tomorrow. Get your questions in after this. Well, we're just going to do a quick Q&A before we wrap up. So, what do you want to see from the team tomorrow? As I was saying, if you go back a little bit, I don't know about you guys, but I just want to see them leave everything on the pitch. I don't want to see complacency. I don't want to see arrogance. I want to see us fighting for every single ball. And there's always a possibility to out-intensify a team. We see it time and time again, like Lons did against us. Like the relegation teams upset Man City sometimes. It's just because they go in there just fighting, giving it 100%, going for every ball, going for every header. All of it, just fight for it. That's what I want to see. Have you heard from Lottie? She must be buzzing. Yes, actually, I'm going to talk to her after this properly. I haven't actually spoken to her since the Man U match, but oh, anyway, we'll save that for Q&A. What do we not want to see from the team tomorrow? I don't want to see us playing into their hands. I don't want to see us going out there arrogantly. This is actually a good question. Good question past me. Mainly, I don't want to see a certain lineup, and I don't want to see us making stupid mistakes at the back. I don't want to see us being sloppy defensively. I don't want to see Havertz in midfield. Right, anyway, okay, so I'm going to go back to my favourite slide. Where's it gone? And we'll do a Q&A. Can't laugh at my own jokes, but I just thought it was funny. Right, so quick Q&A. I know there were a few earlier on. So, right, so Phil, first of all, saying, tomorrow's a huge opportunity for Arteta to prove last year wasn't a one-off and the changes he had are making us better. Absolutely. Yeah, again, you took the words right out of my mouth. So the whole thing going around, if we lose this, is that we're not going to challenge this year. Last year was just a one-off. And I will feel so upset because I'll feel like even more that last year was the golden opportunity and we're not as good this year. How long will it be till we are challenging again? All of that. The changes he had made, are they making us better? For me, that's a massive question. I don't think they have yet. I mean, Timber was great, Rice great, but the whole Havertz thing has just really upset the balance of the team for me. I'll give him time and stuff, but I just really question that signing. And if we got him as a project player, why not bring in someone ready to go like your Madisons so that Kai has time to fit in? Yeah. It's massive. It's massive. But all of those questions go away if we win tomorrow, you know? So we must win. Malb saying, question, if Mikel comes second and, oh my gosh, you come right in with like the hardcore questions. No easy questions from you. My goodness. So chat, help me with this one. But I'm going to just give my genuine opinion. If Mikel comes second and no trophy, but he does go to the Champions League final, would you sack him? Chat, this is a really good question. Really good question. Let me know your answers to this. So no trophies. So doesn't win the Prem, doesn't win the FA Cup, no League Cup, no Champions League, no trophies. That's actually such a good question. He comes second and goes to the Champions League final. Would I sack him? So my God. Okay, my honest opinion, this might shock some of you as well, is because I have massive doubts about him, is no. I actually wouldn't sack him, and crucify me, I know. However, my reasons are basically, if you sack him, I think it could be so quickly like toxic because so many of the fan base are like Arteta mad, right? And he's done so much to finally like bring some atmosphere to Emirates, bring a bit of unity between the team and the fans. The team really love him. If you sack him, how will that affect the morale of the team? And I think Champions League final is massive, especially because a huge question about him is whether he does well in Europe or not. So I think that Champions League final is quite big in terms of like, oh, like that's really good. And coming second to Man City, I've stuck by my expectations are to win or to take them to the line and be runners up this season. So let's see what you guys are saying. That's such a good question, and I hate you for that. So, hello, Michael Harris. You came in on the difficult question saying it's all about context. If he fails after leading the Prem like last year, you're so right, and we crash out of the cups early, or if we lose in a semi or a final, get cheated out of a trophy, all depends on context. You're so right. So if we're leading and bottle it again, then I'm not having it. But if it's honest and we've gone all the way to Champions League final, and basically if we're beaten by the better teams, that's kind of acceptable to me, as opposed to like completely like doing it to ourselves and just like falling apart. If that happens again, then yeah, there's questions to be asked, and we can do a whole show like if these things happen towards the end of the game. Like I want to go back through everything Arteta's done and like properly like dig into that question. towards the end of the season. But I don't have time. Like, there's so many things that go into it. You're so right. Arsenal Manic is always doubting whether it's the real Jez. It's always the real Jez, okay? And I knew you would say this, Jez, that he would have to be sacked. Yeah, and I really, really tend to listen to you, Jez, because you've been watching the sport so much longer than me. And am I just getting caught up in the nearly winning thing? And you know, I tend to, yeah, it's not what I think, but it really gives me like food for thought when someone who knows as much as you or Jez, like you guys, just say that he's not the guy. Because who am I to say like, oh, actually I think he is, when I've been watching like, what, 5 years, and you've been watching so many years, you've seen so many managers come and go, and if you don't think he's the guy, who am I to say that he is? So yeah, it makes me think. Can you hum the ET theme tune so we can really feel in the moment and truly believe? Don't make me do that. Don't make me do that. I'd sack him regardless. There's better managers out there. Harsh, but it's like there's a case to be made for sure. Phil saying awkward. It's all about trophies. I may still be happy if we have gelled and see progress. Yeah. I'm really, I've not been supporting very long, but I'm really getting fed up of like next season will be the season. So I can't imagine how you guys who've been watching much longer than me feel. So yeah, but I do really, you know, he came in and said, I want to like bring the fans and the players back together, and he's done that. And like everything he's like promised so far is like coming to fruition. So I just feel like, is it one season too early to sack him? But it's such a good question. I hate that question. For those who didn't see, this was the question. So if he comes second with no trophy and goes to Champions League final, would you sack him? Anything lower than second, and yeah, I'm having to say. Taylor, so my name is Fran, but thank you so much. I can see why you wouldn't know that, because I don't actually call myself by my name. So maybe I'll have to have in the background like a sign saying Fran. So that would help. I totally understand. So it's really polite of you to call me the host. But my name is Fran, and I need to remind people throughout the stream that that's my name. So thank you. Arteta will do a Craig David. I'm walking away. I don't know. Would he? Do you think? I think he's too stubborn. So a couple more comments. Guna Forever saying, if Arteta doesn't qualify at the Champions League group, I want him gone straight away. Yeah, I might tend to agree with you, but then I do have like these real doubts about the repercussions of getting rid of him in terms of like the fan base and the squad. So yeah. Fran, are you mad? If he fails, then he must go. We won't get to the Champions League final, get real. But Jez, if we did get to the Champions League final, would you still be saying he must go? Because I think if we got to the Champions League final, that would be like, that basically shows you're back in the big time. Do you know what I mean? At least for me. I'm not mad. I know you're joking though. Must start thinking like a big club. If end of season, no major trophy, then sorry, Arteta's had his time. Yeah, I mean, people don't remember who came runners up, do they? Or who was in the final. They just remember who won. And like, even just seeing the Community Shield, for me, that was like the best experience ever. And compared to like coming runners up and stuff, it's about winning. And you're right. Maybe I need to actually take care that I'm not being indoctrinated into the process. So you guys got to keep me honest. Again, there's no prize for second place in football. Yeah, really good question. Right, Taylor asking, why are the fans singing 60 million down the drain? Kai Havertz scores again when he's been missing in games. I think, like, bless them, they're trying to like build his confidence however they can, because they think, you know, maybe if we can get him feeling happy, feeling welcome, then maybe he can score. They're just trying the best they can, I think, to get him like working for Arsenal, because that's the best for Arsenal. So I reckon they've come up with that song, like, because what can we do except like try and be the 12th man, try and do everything we can to make the team that we have win. That's my take on that. And it's great. It's great. I mean, it's a testament to the fans just trying to help in whatever way they can. But I think even then, I think it's funny how they did have like a little dig at him saying it's 60 million down the drain. They didn't want to just like sing like a praiseful song, you know? Right, another question saying, yeah, stick your questions in. Thank you again for the question. So your last question was evil. Let's see. Right, let's make it interesting. Oh my god, so the last one wasn't interesting. If them lot down the road win the league and we came in second, no, we came second, Spurs win the league and win the FA. So we came second and win the FA Cup and reach the Champions League final. Would you sack him? Yeah, for me, that's got to be a yes there, because that implies that Man City like completely screw it up. And they come like third or fourth. And everyone's just been saying that the reason we don't win is because Man City are a Goliath team. And if Spurs were to win, that shows that City are no longer the issue. And then all the arguments that everyone makes are just dead. People saying that if City didn't exist last year, we would have won the league. But the illusion's gone. If City are knocked off the top spot, but it's not by us, it's by Tottenham Hotspur, whose manager has been in for one season. Ours has been in for 4 or 5 seasons. City are out of the picture. If we don't win, there's no excuse. These like teams that are just like rebuilding, like from the beginning of their process, like Liverpool, Tottenham, if they're the ones to take the title when Man City are out of the picture, and not Arsenal, who are 4 years into their process, and that would just show completely that we made completely the wrong transfers. The management is not there. The manager's not good enough. So you got me there. You got me there. If Spurs take it, then Arteta out. Yes, I didn't think I'd say those words, but that's what you guys are saying. Comments are flying, man. Thank you so much. So I love that comment. You're welcome, Taylor. So Travis are saying, I mean, Spurs sacked Poch and he got them to a UCL final. You're right. Yeah. So that I suppose that's an answer to the question, saying if we did get to the Champions League final, would you sack him? Spurs did, so yeah. You're saying I want to see Arsenal really get stuck in tomorrow. We fight, we win. Winning the league or a cup is not a guarantee. Such success is usually sporadic. Having been there in all the great and bad Wenger years, I'm so happy where we are now. That's fair enough, Phil. That's fair enough. That's why I like having fans like at completely opposite end of the spectrums, because that's how like we like learn, and like the more opinions I listen to, the more I can try and like formulate my own. And thank you. Yeah, fair enough. Who am I to argue with what you think? So they were also dreadful after that season. You're right. So Spurs did sack them after the Champions League final, and then they had like 5 years just like in the mud. They're only kind of getting better this season because they got like an outrageous like wild card of a manager. Can't beat Lons away, and people are talking about the Champions League final. So that was a question like if that were the case, not whether we think that will happen. I do not think that will happen. The Lons like schooled us. You can, but Dave did say you can lose group games and go far in the Champions League if you're Real Madrid. That is, yeah, we're not Real Madrid, are we? It's a completely different ball game playing in Europe. Like the way you approach games is so different, like compared to the Prem. I think we can't just go there and play like we do in the Prem, like with that arrogance. No, yeah. So Gooner Forever saying, Jez, to be honest, I can't see us getting out of our group in the Champions League. If that doesn't happen, then you get back onto this channel and we're having a crisis meeting. I'm going to bring Jez in, I'll bring Connor in, and we'll have an emergency crisis talk if we don't get out of the Champions League group. I hold me to that promise, because I'll do that. And TJ. Anyone else, let me know. Maybe Prince Fuad. So Gooner forever. Sevilla home and away next won't be easy. If we don't get out of the group, you must go. Yeah, so we'll do a crisis panel meeting and see where we sit. So have you monetized yourself, Fran? You have over 500 subs. I haven't yet. I thought I had to get to 1,000 to monetize. That would be amazing. I haven't made like £1 off YouTube. If I did, I would be so happy. So check in next time. I'll see if we can do like super chats and stuff. So Lee Gunner speaks facts and gets hate for it. Why should we tolerate being nearly men? Over 600 mil spent. Really good point. Lee's actually a really nice guy. Like, his opinions are wild sometimes, but yeah, I don't think it's cool that he gets like, yeah, so much hate just for football opinions, you know. But yeah, I'll have to look into that, Jez. Are there any more questions? Right, Arsenal Manic saying, Jude Bellingham, would you be tempted to swap him for Havertz? Is that a joke? Absolutely. I hope that's a joke, because yes, 100%, 100%. Let me just see if I've missed any comments. I think I've got all your questions. This has been the biggest stream yet. Thank you so much. Yes, I've only just recently started doing solo streams to try and like build a bit of confidence, build the channel a bit. And over the international break, going to be doing some really cool art stuff. So I'm going to talk about football whilst drawing at the same time, and hopefully that could be really cool. But yeah, thank you for coming in the chat. I feel like even more confused about this game tomorrow than I did before. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I can't wait. I don't even think I'm going to be able to sleep. I can't wait to see the lineup. Do you think maybe if I'm like still like this obsessed about the game tomorrow morning, I might do a stream maybe at like 2, something like that. Like we'll do like a build-up show. I'm just so excited about this fixture. It's massive. If we do well, then champions for me, title race is back on. All of these worries are for nothing. Blah. We're back. You know, we're gonna win the league, whatever. If we lose, then all these doubts I had were correct. The team is worse than last season. Havertz was a disaster. Call me reactive, but that's what we're like. Guna Forever said, I would swap Havertz for a packet of custard cream biscuits. Actually, that's harsh. I don't really like custard creams. Thank you, Phil. I appreciate it so much. You are here whenever I pod. You get a gold medal. 100 subs by December. I wish. I'm hoping for 600 by Halloween. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Yeah, that'll be 1,000 subs by December. Yeah, then we can do like a giveaway and stuff. That'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. I need to plug my stuff. Boyfriend always saying that I need to. So this is my stuff, and we could do a giveaway of things like this. This was just a prototype. So that's my drawing in the middle, which you can see up there behind me in my background. And then I do like edits. So that's like the Emirates Stadium warped in the background and stuff. And I know Phil's got one, and a few people like Harry Simu, Tom Canton, Jess Black's got one, and I've got them with other players on. So we could do like a big giveaway if I get to 1,000. That would be awesome. So yeah, really excited about where this channel's going. And already, so great. Like to have there's 32 already, guys. Can we get to 40? Can we get to 40? Hit 40 if you're excited. Hit the likes if you're excited about the game tomorrow. There we go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I will try and like do a bit more art stuff, but we'll keep it like interesting and about football as well. So a couple more questions and I'll have to call it a day. I'm going to leave the ET thing on. Actually, you know what? Full screen for question time. So any more questions, get them in the chat. What do we need in January, in your opinion? Really good question. Your questions that I feel under pressure. They're such good questions. Okay. What do we need in January? I think we need. I was going to say a better left 8, so Havertz's position, but then I'd be really disappointed for Emile Smith-Rowe, because he's been training up to be in that position. And how disappointed would he be if another player is brought in instead of him? I think just give Emile Smith-Rowe the chance in that position. So don't necessarily go and buy that player. Just put Emile Smith-Rowe there. I think he deserves the chance. It's his last throw of the dice at Arsenal. Otherwise, it's just like, you might as well sell him. So I was going to say a new left 8. I think I was going to say a new left back, but Timber's there and he'll be fit by the end of the season. What do you guys think? This is a really good question. Let's see. Don't go anywhere yet. Don't go anywhere yet. We'll do it for a bit longer. Yeah, that's my favourite thing. The auction. I'm gonna auction the likes. January in, Tony, out Kai. We can't get rid of Kai already. I think like that's genuinely impossible. But out of the starting lineup for certain. Yeah, let him cook, as they say. Tony in, yes, I'm really excited about that prospect. Really excited. Or Pedro Neto, to be fair. Pedro Neto would be like outrageous. Yes, I totally forgot. So we need a Saka replacement, and I really feel for Nelson. I do. I want to give Nelson a chance, but Nelson can also rotate. Whatever. We've got a lot of competitions. He can play, but we need. Nelson's not as good as Saka, right? We need someone as good as Saka in that right wing position. So we need, because Saka's on his he's on his last legs, you guys know, and we need to be able to drop Saka when he is at risk of injury. And for example, a game like tomorrow, it's horrible, but I'm saying play Saka if he's fit, because there's no one else that good in that position. So we need, when he's not 100% fully fit, to be able to bring someone in who is as good. And I know that's a tall order, but we should be looking at these massive, great players like your Vinicius, your Osimhen. Why are we still looking at these substandard players when we're in the Champions League? This is why. Liga on a bingo, this is why they knocked down Highbury, to be competing with the best in the world. So we need someone that's going to be even slightly better than Saka. There aren't many, because he's up there, but bring one of them in. Am I asking too much? I don't think so. So Partey and Tomiyasu are away in Jan, so we definitely need new bodies in. You're right. It's AFCON. And is Tomiyasu away? Is it the Asian Cup? I can't remember exactly the name of the competition. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. I totally forgot. Oh my gosh. So at this rate, you're looking at needing a defensive DM option. A DM option. Right wing, and a striker. Maybe a Vlahovic, because I thought we were bringing Kai Havertz to be a target man that can like tap in lots of headers and things like that. But no, we're playing in midfield. Bring in Dusan Vlahovic, who's actually like a massive like finisher and whatever. So, Gunnar Forever saying sign Ivan Toney or Osimhen. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's the levels I'm talking about. If we can't get them, I like Man City striker Alvarez. Yeah, that's the standards we're looking at. Alvarez, he's awesome. Really good. Arsenal Manic saying, good point, Fran. Why can't Arteta and Edu sign these world-class players? Right? There's no excuse. They have the money. Let me not even get started on the Kroenke's wealth. Have you seen the sci-fi stadium, whatever it's called? They have the money. I think a key problem is that we're so bad at selling players that it means that we're just in huge FFP problems all the time. So, that's the reason why we can't sign these big players. But the players want to come. Declan Rice chose us over City. They want... You're right. You're so right. So Tayyip saying, Arsenal Manic facts, bro. Taylor saying, Eddie and Nketiah definitely needs to be moved on come the end of the season. Not good enough to where the team strives to be in Man City position. They have Haaland and Alvarez. Right. Would Eddie and Nketiah, as much as we love the guy, it's not a charity, is it? Would Eddie be playing in Man City's centre forward position? No, he'd be like third, fourth choice. Connor saying, I wish we got Kudus or Diaby, but both got taken by West Ham and Villa, right? Why are West Ham and Villa getting players like that and we're getting Kai Havertz? Something's wrong. Bring Timber's brother and Neto. I would love to see Timber's brother. That would be awesome. They're twins, you know? Bring in Timber's twin. As a twin myself, I would love that. I would absolutely love that. I don't know like how good he is compared to Timber, but just like for team morale and stuff, imagine. That would be just amazing. We should look at Bellingham's little brother. Yeah, totally. If he's made from the same genetics as Jude Bellingham, then there's got to be something there. Arteta cannot handle world-class players with egos. Great point, Brenny. Maybe the reason that we're not bringing in these players is that he wants good little schoolboys that are going to do his bidding and won't argue against him. Certainly seems to be the case at the moment, right? Why do we lose out on players like that? Good question. Arsenal Manic saying Man United, Chelsea, comeback wins today, and Spurs won with 10 men. Arsenal don't make us the laughing stock of the week. Thanks. Yes, Arsenal don't make us the. I should have called the video. Arsenal don't make us the laughing stock of the week. Thanks. I love that. I love that from you. I saw one or two more questions, and then I'm gonna have to go because I'm gonna go and watch Vikings. Yeah. Can Arteta manage players to keep them interested? Man, this is a really good question. Because I think the way he treats some players is really unfair. Especially, so you're playing, what I was saying the other day is you're trying to play players like Nketiah and Havertz into form by giving them the minutes, and yet players like Trossard and ESR are not given nearly the same amount of minutes and then punished because they're not up to speed. Make it make sense. Again, you saying we definitely need backup for Saka. All of this is so interesting. Well, look, now, so going forward, I'm going to be doing, I commit to you all, and you may crucify me if this doesn't happen, but I'm going to do preview and review shows for every game. That's my commitment this season. So in that, like, we're going to talk about January. We will talk about January. So all these questions, let's rain check. Would I sell Eddie and Smith Rowe in January? I would not sell Smith Rowe, but I would sell Eddie. So, oh wait, let me get that. That's my Smith Rowe drawing. So I managed to get them all in frames now, and now I just need to get some hooks to put them all behind me, and I'll have a really cool background. So yeah, I'm not selling Smith Rowe after I spent so much time on that drawing. Taylor saying, question, definitely need a forward to get at least 20-25 goal striker in January, or definitely summer, Tony Osman, a player to compete with Saka, i.e. Bowen. Yeah, totally. Or Watkins, is he right wing? What position is he? Because he's really good as well. I need to properly like research before I say which players I want. I can't just say that. I need to be thorough and like know all the stats and stuff. And I'll come at you with a presentation on which players I want and why. So before I commit, we'll do a presentation. So 20-25 goal striker certainly needed, and the fact that we didn't get a striker, I emphasized at the beginning of this season, shows that he's doubling down on the goals by committee thing. So the fact we got Havertz rather than like a Vlahovic or something like that showed that this season again we're not going for a target man. It's all about the goals by committee thing. So there's not going to be a 20-25 man striker unless we change course in January and just go screw it, like let's get our own Haaland, you know. So oh my gosh, what all the comments start going mad as soon as we're about to log off. Connor's saying I'd happily get Watkins if we don't manage to get Tony. He's a goal scorer. Yes. Yeah. We'll talk about the fantasy league at another time, but my fantasy league's a mess. Arsenal Manic saying, why don't you sell your drawings to Arsenal FC for hundreds or thousands? Don't get me started. So that again, there's a mini rant here, but Arsenal are always saying that they're all about the fans and the community and stuff. But they're like, I've been trying to email them for like a year and a half, and this is after the shop coordinator in the Armory said he wanted to stock my stuff. And then he just said, email info@Arsenal, and basically, if you don't have connections inside the club and you're just like a randomer if you don't have like the street cred or whatever, they just like don't even reply to you. They don't. So I've emailed them like 15 times and they just don't like give a shit basically. And it's really disappointing. Like I've never ever heard back from them or anything. So I think the only way to actually get through to them is like to know someone that knows someone in the club type thing. Like it sucks. A Fran PowerPoint transfer special presentation. I'm in. Yeah, and Arsenal so never like replied to me or anything, but during Timber, like to be fair, like so I've even stopped trying to go directly to Arsenal. I'm just gonna like go other ways. And like so Trossard's wife messaged me about the drawings, and then during Timber liked my drawings. So I'm just kind of like screw Arsenal at this point. I'm gonna like just sell my art and stuff like elsewhere. So starting my own website, which is golartzo.com, cheeky plug. But eventually I'd love to like be selling like to Arsenal, to other football clubs, to footballers. I want this to be like my full-time job. So I really want just football, art and like media just to be my full-time job. It really shows that the club doesn't care about the fans for real. Like I could do a whole, Connor, I bet you are. I bet you're actually really good at it. Mine's so bad. I could do a whole thing about like just they really don't care about the fans. They're all about like when Rambo's doing even the Arsenal Foundation didn't like reply to me when I was saying like I'd love to sell some of the art, like 100% profits going to you guys. They didn't even bother like replying, because I want to be selling it and like using it for good stuff, because I've come from somewhere where I've been like absolutely broke and like really struggled like mental health and all that stuff. Like, so if I do have a skill like this, luckily enough, I want to be able to use it to actually do some good. So I reached out even to the Arsenal Foundation directly saying like, maybe we could do an auction or something like that. All proceeds go to you guys. And they didn't even bother to reply. Like if there's something, so if it's not self-interest for Arsenal, then they just won't bother. You'll get there, Fran. Your work will be noticed. Big up, Fran. Quality person. Thank you so much. I've been trying to get Arsenal to do a 4XL and a 5XL shirt. There isn't a market for it. That's so... Exactly. It's just little things like that. And other clubs are so much better at that kind of thing. Arsenal are like pretty arrogant. They don't seem to like care about the small man. And the fact that the Ashburton army as well, like they kind of like put their noses down at them when they're just trying to improve the atmosphere and stuff, and they kept denying their requests to like start tifos and stuff. So I got like huge problems with the way that like the fan service is run with Arsenal. Superb. Things are just around the corner, hopefully. Yeah, I really hope so. But thank you so much for your support. Fran is a legend, such a humble and very likable person. Thank you. Right, so I think that's pretty good. Taylor saying, Fran, definitely need to be at least selling your art to auction. That's at least 25k in the market. That's a beautiful drawing. Also showing the emotion. Thank you so much. That's the thing I really focus on, like trying to show the emotions. I'll show you a couple more while you're like actually interested. So Martinelli, this one, I was trying to show like his determination and stuff. And I also do like the clothing with him on it and stuff. So this is the original. But yeah, I'm really glad you saw that I try and focus on the emotions of them, because that's really, really what it's all about when I do the drawings. I just had another point, Connor, if you're still there. So I painted that. It took me like 100 hours. And Arsenal removed it from my Etsy store and from it's some other like online marketplace for copyright reasons. And it's just like, why do I bother? Like, I don't know whether it's that I painted the badge, but look, let me show you. Yeah, they took it down. It took me 100 hours. And yeah, they removed it for copyright reasons. So it just feels like, what's the point? Yeah. But that's for another time. Those pictures look 4D. It's like you've kidnapped these players. Let's see the Starboy painting. Okay, this was my first one. Yeah. I don't like showing it because I got a smudge there and then I had to cover that up with white paint, so I think it looks like really imperfect. But yeah, that's the Starboy one. It's a bit reflective. Sorry, the light's in the way. Let me see if I can show you. But yeah, this is also on hoodies and stuff. I'm sorry about the reflection. That's actually annoying. But you can see all of them on the website, which is just, if you Google Golartzo, yeah, if you Google Golartzo, then I've got a whole like gallery of all the paintings that I've done and stuff. Yay! Yeah, you got the white sweater. So yeah, Connor's got one too, and all the like everyone's like been so nice about it. It's just like Arsenal themselves just like don't give a shit. They didn't even say what the copyright was for. Thank you again, Connor. You're just a legend. Hope you can do more art outside Arsenal related stuff. If you actually like, I've done loads of like landscape and pet stuff like in the past, so that's totally something that I'll do. And I want to branch out to other clubs as well. Arsenal are twats, lol. At the moment, it seems like it. Not gonna lie, ESL was better than Saka. Have I drawn Kai Havertz yet, lol? You joker, you're funny. You think you're funny? You did Saka dirty, Fran. That's the Saka image of my hoodie. Gooner Gathering's got one too. So please, if you do want to, and let me know if you think like the price is too much or whatever. Like go to Golartzo. I'll show it to you now, quick. Thank you for being here. If you're still here, like you guys must have no life. I'm kidding. So that's my website. And to be fair, I'll be like totally honest with you. Like I've had barely any orders recently, and I just felt like totally unmotivated. But yeah, so if you can go there and like see all my different art and stuff, and there's like time lapses of them. But with like the website and stuff, if you don't have money to be able to like pay for advertising, it's really hard to get it off the ground. But that's, yeah, it's a whole other story. And you can have a look at all the clothing. So the guys in the chat have already got some, but I think I'm worried it might be a bit too expensive. So if you guys let me know, you can get a discount and stuff as well. But I really want to make this work. I'm just feeling a bit like done with it at the moment, really, because it's, unless I'm on like promoting it on social media like 24 hours a day, then it feels like it just like nothing happens. But yeah, we'll get there. Was it still on the, no, was it still on, did you even just see that? Did you just see that? Oh no, you just missed the whole thing that I showed you. No. Not expensive, maybe cut the price by £5 on the tees and hoodies. Yeah. It's all in a process, because it costs me like £25 to make one, and like, so yeah, maybe I will do that, to be fair. I'm gonna drop it by £5. But then you want people to know that it's like good quality and stuff. But we can talk about that another time. No. That sucks. The one time I'm actually like promoting my stuff. Oh, don't give up, love. Success don't come overnight. You're right. Have I put up the? No, I haven't yet. I haven't updated the website for a minute. Because I've been super busy gardening, to be fair. And I felt a bit discouraged, but you guys, to be fair, like I've emailed so many like people and then like got no responses, so I just need to keep going. Thank you so much, guys. £20 t-shirts. It's really hard to up prices though later on. You're meant to like, yeah. Thank you so much for all the advice. Maybe we'll just do a whole stream about like, help me. I've got no idea. Get on Dragon's Den. Maybe. I can't believe you. I thought I was showing you the website, and yeah, I was just showing you Neil from the In-Betweeners. So yeah, right. let's call it a day then. I've got to go and watch an episode of Vikings. Please, like, give me any feedback from the website if you do check it out. And thank you for all the kind words. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. I wonder if we managed to get the 40 likes, but really nice to see you guys. Connor especially, that's my guy, and Gooner Gathering. Subscribe to Gooner Gathering. Taylor, you've been such a cool, like, really nice addition to the chat tonight. I really love, like, just chatting to you guys. I always feel so good afterwards. So thank you. Don't ever give up on your dreams and what you are passionate about, Fran. We're glad you always find a happy place to smile about while struggling. That's determination and courage. Keep going. Thank you. Thank you. That's why I love football. That's why I love football. It's just, it makes you forget all of your troubles, you know. Take care. Thanks for a great stream. 36 likes. No, the aim was 40. If you want a sad story, my last stream, I had to jump off because I was going to go to the cinema because I had a ticket that was going to expire at midnight. Well, I missed it. I missed it. Taylor saying, thank you, Fran. Happy to be here. Hope we'll be here next time you're live. Yes, click I believe it tells you if you click the notification, then it should tell you. But as a general rule, I'm going to try and do a preview the day before or on the day, and then a review on the night or the next day. I hope now the stream doesn't end. Thank you. Unfortunately, I've nearly been on for 2 hours, so my boyfriend's going to kill me if I don't get off now. I'd probably prefer to stay and talk to you. But thank you so much. I'll see you guys for a review tomorrow or the day after. Thank you for sticking around with me. That was actually really good to like chat a bit more, like chill at the end. So that was fun. And I can't wait for tomorrow. I'll speak to you guys after the game. Or if there's a crazy lineup. If Arteta does some madness, then I'll be live. Don't worry. Let's hope tomorrow isn't a horror story. Havertz winner, would you draw him? Not you with another question. You put... No. Oh, I don't know. It's such a big game, though. Maybe. I'll call it a maybe. Havertz, I know you're watching. If you score a winner, then you'll get a portrait. Don't let the boyfriend kill us. We apologise. All right, I'll pass on your apologies. He's playing FIFA now anyway, so I'm sure he's all right. Everyone take care of yourselves, as Arsenal Manic says. Look after yourselves. Try not to sweat the small things. Look after your mental health. Do a nice thing for yourself. Have a bath. That's always what I do when I'm feeling crap. Have a nice bath. Listen to a podcast. Thank you very much again. And bye-bye all. Yeah, I have actually drawn Ronaldo. You guys are too distracting. I'm going to go. All right. All the love. Thank you so much. It's been great chatting to you all. And see you next time. See you after the game or before the game. But I'll see you soon.